Hi there guys, this is Anna here and welcome to week 3 of Happy Belly, Flat Belly. So at last we have got to the food intolerances and allergies section. Now, I just want to say that we're going to be scratching the surface. I could be talking about food intolerances and allergies for another 12 weeks, yeah? But what I've tried to do is give you enough information so that you can make some informed decisions. Now, my experience of intolerances and allergies is very personal. At the age of 21, I was put on a gluten and dairy-free diet with very mixed results. I really wasn't tested at the time. They just put me on the diet. And I don't believe in going on intolerance diets unless you know that's what it is, or else it just won't work. I do have allergies to things like Parmesan cheese. I can't eat hard cheeses or very strong cheeses. That's just me personally. And I do know that I've got families and friends that have other food allergies and intolerances, and I've worked with them as well. And of course, there's plenty of you out there that I've worked with. You're all very unique. So one man's food is another man's poison. And I want you to really keep this in mind as we go through the email this week. I'm going to be reading my notes because there's a lot to get through. I've listed the most common culprits of inflammation and irritants with digestive health. So I'm just going to look at my notes here. I hope you don't mind. So I'm just going to read out the ones, the ones that are the highest culprits, really. Alcohol can really irritate the gut, and you know, strong spirits and really cheap, dodgy, dirty wine will do the trick very well. So if you do like a glass of wine and you're having too much, I suggest you get a lovely, gorgeous bottle of Plonk. Spend a bit of money on it. It won't be as acidic and it will be better for your digestive system. We've got antibiotics and painkillers. We have become a pill popping nation. This really does do my nut in. I get very angry about the pill popping nation. I don't believe personally, unless you have to take medication, it's always a last resort. There's always something else that you can have or do to help yourself. Now, I know that I have been on heavy meds in the past, but only when I really had to, and I think that should be the case, because medication strips the body of the good bacteria and great digestive enzymes, and it can really be very harsh on the system, and that's what causes all the problems. We've got certain spices, particularly chili, so, you know, chili and harsh spices are known to kick off IBS and diverticulitis and stuff like that. Really does kick it off. And then we've got the common ones, which is wheat and gluten, coffee, tea, dairy, chocolate, nuts, eggs, oranges, and basically any chemical additives in foods. So we're looking at you to be eating whole live foods, fresh foods, you know what I mean? No processed foods. This doesn't do you any favours. High in salt, high in preservatives. It's going to irritate the gut. Now, people often think that the processed foods are more convenient, but I can tell you now, there is nothing quicker than knocking a stir fry or a salad together. It's quick, it's easy, it's fresh. It won't hurt your gut. So, with all these examples, the question is, are you eating too much of these foods, yeah? An intolerance is something that builds up over time. It's when the body becomes overwhelmed by one ingredient. So I want you to be very honest with yourself now this week. I want you to tell me whether, you know, you're overeating on any of those things. And that can really inflame the gut. And we're wanting to rest the body again. You know, I always go back to resting the bowels, resting the body. We need to reset. Give the body a rest. Give it a break. So this week we're going to be dealing with your addictions. And when I say this, people go, I haven't got any addictions. If you think of any of those foods and you think, oh, I couldn't go a week without pasta, wheat. I couldn't go without, a cup of tea in the morning. I just can't do that. If the thought of giving up one of those foods for a week fills you with dread and horror, you have a little addiction there, and we need to rectify that. Now, it's really simple to rectify it. If you have one food out of that list that you know that you're overeating on, and it's built up and it's become an intolerance, what I want you to reduce it or eliminate it for the week. Now, you can reintroduce it afterwards. That's not a problem. So, for example, say you're a big tea drinker. You could be drinking up to 10 cups of tea a day, and now it's started to irritate the gut and the body's not happy. So we take it away for a week and we let the body rest, and then we reintroduce it at 3 or 4 cups a day, and the body will accept that. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm bringing moderation back into play. So I want you to look at those. Now, if you have lots to focus on, you can either do it one at a time, or you can reduce them all a little bit. But please don't go for the full-on detox and just, eliminate everything. People often do this, and I'm not Gillian McKeith. I'm not going to be having you in bed unable to function and hurting and detoxing and vomiting. I'm not having that. I want you to reduce the foods that you're overeating on just a little bit, and reduce them down gradually, and you'll find the body will accept that. If you take them away like that, you'll have a shock detox and you will feel like hell. So just a little warning there. So if you're looking at that list and thinking, well, I don't have a problem with any of those, and yet I still have what I feel are certain foods that inflame my gut, now is the time for a diet analysis. This is what I'm here for, and it's free during the course. So keep that food diary for me and send it over, and I'll analyse it for you. So if the list doesn't coincide with you, let's see what it is that's uniquely irritating you, and we'll get that sorted. I've put up an example of caffeine caution. Now, when people think of a food, they think of it only doing one thing, but that's not always the case. So if you're drinking a lot of coffee, I've put caffeine cons. It can cause insomnia, nervousness, high blood pressure, things like that. It doesn't do just one thing. The one element I love is the body needs a wide variety of nutrients to survive, and those nutrients don't just do one thing, they do many things. For example, calcium. People go, oh yeah, that's good for your teeth, that's good for your bones. Do you know you need calcium to contract a muscle? And so those people that are struggling with getting enough calcium often feel weak because they're unable to contract their muscles sufficiently. So nutrients do many things, not just one thing, and that's exactly the same for food. They do many things, not just one thing. And if you're overwhelmed by them, then that can cause some problems. So there is a huge, huge difference between an intolerance and an allergy. An intolerance is something that builds up over time and then affects you. An allergy affects you straight away, immediately, and you will know if you have an allergy. So for me, I'm straight to the hospital. Any Parmesan cheese at all, I am there. So I've just put a few, symptoms down there that will clock an allergy. Nausea, you will want to be sick. Cramps, wind, fatigue, throat problems, speaking, swelling in the throat, sweating, skin rashes, acne and boils, migraines, apathy and confusion. You won't know what's going on. The senses will start to shut down. Depression, anxiety and paranoia. That is an allergy. An intolerance will build up over time, and you may have stomach problems and digestive health problems, and you might feel sick and have migraines, but it will happen gradually rather than straight away. When facing the concept of a food intolerance or an allergy, it can be overwhelming. And food plays such a huge part of our lives and our social lives. So I don't suggest you doing everything all at the same time. It's just too much. So if you think you've got a particular problem with wheat or maybe dairy, I suggest you cut out the particular food that you think affects you for 14 days and see whether you feel any better. And if you don't feel a difference, then just reintroduce it and choose another test food to try. Now, that's the long way of doing it. The short way of doing it, of course, is to get a diet analysis, or even more accurate is a blood test by the York Testing Centre. If you Google it, it'll come up. Now, it is quite expensive, but some people go down that route because it's a little bit quicker than testing several different foods over time. But of course, the choice is yours. I do not believe in cutting out large food groups or certain foods unless you really need to, yeah? So don't play at this. Your body needs a wide variety of nutrients, and we get those from a wide and varied diet. So I wanted to give you lots of information, and as I said, I could go on for 12 weeks talking about food allergies and food intolerances and how they affect the digestive system. But what I thought I'd do as well is just give you some extra reading, a little bit of knowledge. These are 2 books that I highly recommend that are in the email. So we've got a book called Gut Reaction. It's simple and it's effective. We are what we absorb, and poor digestive health is when the body has stopped absorbing properly, has stopped absorbing the nutrients we need, and has become inflamed and irritated. I do like Gut Reaction. It's simple to do and it gives you a lot of information. Now, on the more scientific level and more geared towards food intolerances and food allergies, we have good old Patrick Holford with Improve Your Digestion. There's links to both these books. Patrick Holford is definitely the stricter of the 2, but it depends how severe your condition is. So you may need that strictness, you know, if you're really suffering digestively with problems there. So I thought I'd give you those, and there's links there. I've found the links and they're really, really cheap. I've not gone for like the dear option. So have a look on them. It's worth every penny to have a read of them. So as I said, I'm scratching the surface here with food intolerances and food allergies, and we could be going on forever. So I am expecting you to have a lot of questions. So drop me a line, email me and ask me questions that are unique to you about your own personal digestive health, and I will reply with as much advice and, you know, help as I possibly can. For those of you that I've done this many times before, that are needing a little bit more, you're wanting to connect with me on Skype via webcam, where we can have a proper consultation and talk through your diet and different things like that. I've done a special discounted price of a 40-minute Skype session for £10. It's usually 30. So if you want that, just buy now, we'll book in. And I'm very happy to have a Skype consultation with you to discuss your needs with you. So this week, digestive health in relation to food intolerance and food allergies. As I said, we're just scratching the surface, but get in touch with me, connect with me, and let me help you. So I wish you all the luck in the world this week. It's a tough one this week, but if you do it well, you will find much relief from it. So I will speak to you very soon, and I hope you're very well, and bye for now.